Well, howdy. Welcome to Melbourne. This is a gritty city, you know what they say? You can see the grids. They're all 90 degrees. But what do you do when you're facing an angle like this, contrary to the 90-degree grid that you'd normally use in Minecraft? How do you move that into Minecraft? Well, there I'm going to show you how you can get this angle to work in Minecraft with this angle. Not exactly the curve, I already covered that in the last curve video, but this one is it's pretty simple, you know? It's pretty easy. So, first I'm going to explain how to discover what angle this is contrary to the straight one, and then I will get into how to build that in Minecraft. Okay, so roughly what you want to do is grab the measure tool, kind of align so your perspective is around flat with this, so we can put it here, and then to get this angle you kind of want to go down 90 degrees, so that, let's just go to 10, roughly 10, and we pull it over a 90-degree angle from that, and it's 28, so it's 10 over 18 for the rise over run. So what we can do to figure that out, we will get a simplified of 5 over 9, and to put that into Minecraft, it's really easy, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, so here we are in the super flat world on Cubed. This is where I did my other road tutorial. It's just over here somewhere, I think, but it doesn't really matter. So how I'm gonna show you how we can get that degree is you can either do it two ways, with World Edit or without. World Edit is easier because you don't have to guesstimate it. But what you do is you do 5 by 9 for our angle. Select both the corners and do line whatever you want. I'm doing red wool so it's easier to see. And we can see that this is roughly a 2, 2, 2, 2 angle, and if we want to be direct we can just copy and paste this over and over again, but it looks kind of yucky just having the single one in there, so I'm gonna clean it up, make it by 2s. Now normally the scale I'm working at, I do roads 5 blocks apart. There's a 5-block gap, and that's like that for every lane. But when you're working on an angle like this, you can't also do 5 blocks, because then it'll look thinner than this. Now here's the trick. Let's say you're doing a road by 5. This is your center line here. It's always important to have a center line. There's your center line, and if you wanted to add a lane, you would of course do it 5 apart, but when you get to the end, you can't just move it down one. You have to do a quick little offset, which means these two are now useless, and then you can continue on the road like this, 2 blocks apart from each other each line. And that way it keeps the formality, like keeps it all proportioned, and that's how you do angles. And you'll see, like when you switch over to a 2, it'll actually be 6 blocks apart, because you are still doing the offset of 2, so this one is supposed to line up with here, but it's 2 blocks away. So here is the proper offset for this road. Now, if you want to change the height on these, I'm just going to quickly set up a road for how we can do it so we can make it go up a little bit, and I will catch you in a sec. Now this is a very rough diagonal road. I mean, well, it's good and simple, because the job done, it's still proportional. I'm going to show you how we can change the height on it, because when you're working with straight roads, it's super easy to change the height on them because it's just 1 block across and then you move it up 1 past that. But on diagonals, if you do that, it looks kind of weird, because you're looking at it like this, you want the line to be like a 90-degree angle to this. I'm going to grab some pink wool to show you what I mean. So what you're going to do is you're going to take whatever sort of angle you're using here, so it's a 2, 2, 2, and you're going to repeat that, but perpendicular to this. So you can kind of see in there we got a 90-degree corner, and then move it like that. So now it's kind of like we cut the road in half. But now we can move this half up I'm gonna set my wand to polyhedron, which basically allows me to add as many points as I want, so I can move more complex shapes up, which is what I do for all my roads. And then move 1U, and bam! Now we got a proper raised road on the angle. You can also use this for curves. However, curves won't always be the same angle, so here I'm going to make a quick rough one. Now I know this curve here isn't anything spectacular, but we're going to do 3 separate pink lines on it. So we're going to do the first one over here. So I'm going to start with down here. So depending on these blocks, we want it to kind of be 90 degrees, right? So these ones are all just single blocks. So what we can do is that. And now that one is 90 degrees with both of those, and this side too. Now for this one, we could just do this, but that does look a little off, right? It kind of goes up a little bit too much. So what we can do instead is take an extra block from the edges and kind of repeat that. So now we got the 2, 1, 2, 1 angle. And then for this one, it's just a 3. But if it ends on a 1 like that, it gets a little bit weird. So if you want to have the 3 angle, I'd personally just move it to the middle so you can kind of like extend these 3s past the middle if you need to. 2, 3, 2. So all it really matters is about like making sure it's 90 degrees from these corners and it still looks like a nice little elevation change. And we can move this up. And there we go. So that's how you make that little height change. Now I will get more in-depth into how to properly space these little elevation changes apart when you're dealing with bigger roads. And if you want more of a steep gradient, which is like the slope upwards, this one's not that much. It's about like 10 for every 1 up. So I don't know, it's like a low gradient. I don't know the proper percentages, but when you do want to go up more than 3 blocks, then you still have to make the edges longer than the middle raises. I'll get into that in more detail later. But hopefully this little tutorial showed you how to make diagonal roads. The last video should help you how to connect these straight roads to diagonal roads through curves. And I mean, if you wanted to, you can just add an intersection or a roundabout in the center, and then you don't have to worry about the curve from the straight to here, but most cases you're going to be curving it anyways. So hopefully your road adventures go well, and I will catch you in the next video. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Alright, thanks, goodbye.